I'm a farm boy, and I saw my notes blowing away, and they go, oh my gosh. Wow, Susie, that was dynamite. You know, if you don't love this country like I do, I had good parents who got the spirit of what this great land is about. I see many young ones out here, and it's because of my grandchildren, because a lot of your children as well as our great-grandchildren were making a stand today. I apologize to many of you, and again, I thank the elected officials for being here today to hear our concerns. But one of the big concerns, I stopped down this morning, that hit me. Some of you might be like me, a little older guy who's got to use the bathroom. And they've got to unlock the whole courthouse to let you use it. They couldn't leave the locks on the back of the doors to where we could just come in from the alleyway. I have checked with Dollar General, Snug. You're welcome to stop in, use their facilities or any place else. So, welcome to Bluffton. My name's Steve Huffman. Born and raised in Bluffton, Indiana, east of town. I'm no better, I'm no worse than any of you. Many times as I've talked with individuals over the last 70 days, you might think I've got all the answers. I do not. But I've got a lot of questions. Questions of why we passed the cap and trade bill, and in the final hours they tacked on 300 pages that were never read. We put our elected officials in office to represent us. And I feel a little betrayed. Today, there are 300 million Americans across the land and 545 elected officials in Washington. We're letting the cat out of the bag that they are not the majority. The original We have our elected officials who put one hand on the Bible, one to God, saying, I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. All we're asking them to do is what they promised. Our original forefathers got together, they had an idea to empower people, to free people, and to serve people. For some reason, that has gotten flip-flopped. I remember John Kennedy, the first president in my youth, and I remember saying, ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? And today, thank you for showing us what we can do for our country. Another great concern, I'm sure, by many of you is this new health care program. Our elected officials can do research just like us. But yet, as you look at the 4 major countries who have a socialized health care plan, it is not working. We want to send a message. Read the fine print. Consider it very carefully. I've got a teacher by the name of Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, who shared with me that there's 4 basic principles that guide and direct our life. One of them is our philosophies. Where your philosophies are determine where you're going to go. Whether you feel you should be empowered to do that or whether you should have a handout to take. Again, our attitudes, many times people, how we feel. Philosophies is how we think. Attitudes is how we feel. Do we talk the walk or do we walk the talk? Today we got people walking the talk. Thank you. Third point is actions. We can talk all day long, but we need to act. Unless we act, we're just a passive group of people that all of us on our watch have been caught, I always say, with your pants down, myself included, by not standing on what we have. And the fourth thing is results. April 15th, they held a tea party on Tax Day. Today, on July 4th, we're declaring our independence. And those four things, philosophy, attitude, actions, and results, will determine not only your life, but the life of our country. Today, our first speaker to talk is Doug Bauman. He's a former vocational educator of Wells, Adams, Jay, and Huntington County. He's a farmer, an entrepreneur, a Vietnam vet, decorated with 2 Purple Hearts. Gives me great pride to bring Doug to the stage. Doug Bauman.